Hi there, it's Katarina Cosplay, and today I'm going to show you a pretty easy cosplay to just make at home, either with things you already have or things you can easily find online or in stores. So this cosplay that I made is Hatsune Miku from Vocaloid, and it's the Sand Planet music video outfit that she wears. It looks like this. Very nice. It's a pretty cool vibe. Usually Hatsune Miku's kind of cutesy and adorable, and I do like cosplaying those kind of characters, but I also like that this music video took a more serious, edgy approach. I mean, Vocaloid can be quite edgy, so it's not something new, but I really like this design, and I had pretty much everything at home to make it. I recorded the whole thing so I can show you very easily and explain how I did it, and hopefully this will help if you're trying to figure out how to do it, or you're not very familiar with making your own costumes and you'd like to try. This costume needs no sewing, minimal kind of changes, so it's a pretty easy costume to start with. It's also just a nice costume for people that do know how to sew if you don't feel like sewing, because I definitely have those kind of days, and just want a comfortable, casual-ish costume to wear on Sundays or conventions where you have to travel through public transport and have no opportunity to change at the convention itself. As you might be able to see in the thumbnail, I have done a photo shoot in this cosplay. I did this before COVID happened, so you know, that happened almost right after everyone went in quarantine. It was a lot, but I managed to take some good photos with my friend Niels. This is his handle. I'll also link his portfolio in the description. I'll probably have like a photo or two here as well. I've also asked permission before filming this because I'm, you know, I don't want to be disrespectful, just saying. Yeah. So, big thanks to Niels for the cool photos. Love that. Wish I could have worn it to a convention, but here we are. Let's get into how I made the costume. So the costume pieces that you'll need to kind of throw this together is a wig, of course, then a red jacket, a white t-shirt, a blue pair of jeans, some white sneakers, some sunglasses, and some silver earrings. Besides that, you'll need a couple materials to finish the costume. You will need a pair of scissors, either some textile paint or acrylic paint, and some electrical tape. Right, voiceover Lily here to explain what I did. So first I grabbed my reference image, which is I just kept on my phone, and then I tried to like measure out where I wanted it, the design of the t-shirt to sit. I started by taping up with washi tape. That might look a bit silly, but that way I had kind of an idea of where I wanted the shirt to be positioned, and I knew that once I started sketching it would sit where I want it to sit. It takes a bit of fiddling, but that for me worked out really well. And then once it was on there, I grabbed my jacket to kind of see if I liked the way it worked, and it worked in the first try. Then I grabbed this textile paint. You can also use acrylic, but this textile paint's probably gonna last longer in the washing machine than if you were to use acrylics, but you know, use what you have. If you don't see yourself buying textile paint because you're never going to use it again, don't. This is an easy cosplay, don't make it hard for yourself. I grabbed some cardboard or like an old canvas that's like flat, and I clipped the shirt so it would stay stretched on the bit of board, and then I just started painting. I think I go in with pencil before actually painting. Yes, so I grabbed some pencil and I just kind of sketched out the design. There's actually fabric chalk for this. Oh, I'm really quick with this already. Yeah, so there's fabric chalk for this, which is probably a better option just because that washes out, but this worked for me. And then it really is that easy. You just start painting the textile paint where you've put your design. I like to start with the outer layer and just try and get that neat, because you can always kind of fix your messy edge by just adding more, and I tend to have a problem with making my lines too thick when I start off, so I try to be really careful here and just kind of got the basic idea going. About textile paint rather than acrylic. When you use textile paint, you can afterwards iron and heat seal the paint into the t-shirt, which means it'll last longer and it won't fade over time. I've used acrylic paint in the past for other costumes and that does work, but I've found that after a couple uses you have to either repaint or try again just because the design fades. And with this shirt I haven't had that problem. I've been able to wear it, wash it, and it's all good. I also I am quite sparse or careful with my textile paint. I use this quite runny textile paint, so I literally just shake it up and then use whatever is in the lid. And as you can see, I've used for the entire design, I've just used the paint that was in that little lid, so a little really goes a long way. Other options you might want to use instead is there's this transfer paper that you just put in your printing machine and let the design print out. The only downsides I found to that is at least for what's available in the Netherlands, it tends to flake and get kind of crusty within the first time wearing it, which is really unfortunate because it would be a lot easier and quicker. But lucky for me, I like painting on shirts, so it's not too big of a deal for me. You could also just buy a pre-made shirt, but at the time painting it on just was a cheaper alternative for me, so that's why I went with this option. And there you have it. It's a design on a t-shirt. You're done. You just need to iron it, or if you're using acrylic, let it dry, and that's it. Alright, jacket time. I have a bit of a confession. When I first recorded this in 2020, I thought I had transferred it all onto my laptop. But unfortunately, some of the footage has disappeared, including the footage of me taping this jacket. But I'm just going to quickly explain it. I opted to tape the triangle design in electrical tape, mainly because I use this jacket on a daily basis and I don't always want that design to be permanent. So I opted for electrical tape because I can just take it off and wash off the glue. Which I hadn't done because I don't wash my jackets nearly enough. It's also, I quite like the texture of the electrical tape. I think it gives a really nice finish. The only downside of the particular jacket that I chose is that it has a gathering in the back, which makes it less clean than I would have liked, so I would suggest opting for a more flat red jacket, but it worked out and I really like the design. So here we are again, because I also lost all the footage of wig styling. This video's had a lot of trial and error, but you know what? I'm sticking with it and I'm trying to get it done so I can upload it. And hopefully the future work logs won't be this messy. I have the wig on a wig head to kind of explain what I did and where I got the wig. So let's get into that. So the wig I bought, I can't find the store anymore, or at least not this product on the store, this particular wig. I looked up Hatsune Miku's Sand Planet cosplay wig and got quite a few results on AliExpress. If you're going to look on AliExpress and aren't sure or a bit skeptical, because AliExpress has the reputation of sending you products that you did not order or don't look like the original photo at all. My suggestion is searching by most ordered products and checking the reviews thoroughly for photos and anything that can tell you if it's the right colour, it's the right style, if it's exactly what you're looking for. And that's how I got this one. When it arrived, it did not look like this. The wig, the curls of the ponytails were far more intense and curled up. I brushed them out and even used a bit of heat styling on them. I don't necessarily recommend doing that because you risk melting your wig because it is made out of synthetic fibres. But what works for me is to turn my heating iron on, let it heat up, and then turn it off. and that way I can still heat treat it a little bit very carefully. You can also get one of those heating irons with an adjustable heating setting. I wouldn't just use a hot iron on this thing because it will melt and you'll ruin your wig and you'll cry. So the base of the wig also came with a longer fringe. It's a bit hard to tell on this basic mannequin head because it's smaller, but on my face it used to stop at here, and I pretty much cut it so it framed my face. Like in the photos. So what I did is I stood in the mirror with just the base cap on and pretty much started cutting the general shape of what I wanted it to look like, keeping in mind that the fringe has kind of like a triangle thing like most anime characters do. Because this particular style needed a little bit extra hair to kind of swoop the other way, and that's what I did. So I kept that, made sure that that was included as well. Usually I prefer characters who have something to frame the face a bit more. This design of Miku has the kind of side bits stopping around here, so I did do it that way. If you feel like that's not flattering on you, don't be afraid to just leave it longer. It's best to leave it longer and have something that you feel confident in than something that's accurate that you feel ugly in my opinion. The pigtails are removable, which I always like in a wig, but I've got to say I do like it when a character wig is like properly split in the middle and you have a more accurate back, but this is a lot cheaper and it will cost less work, so I just opted for this because it's a casual costume and I'm not going to put extra effort into a casual costume that I wear not that much. So that's pretty much all that I did for the wig, and that concludes the video. Back to old me where I wasn't disappointed by the fact that I lost half the footage. So that's all there is to it. It's really that simple. The beautiful thing about Vocaloid is, even though Miku's kind of like the character in this particular music video, you could easily replace Miku with any other Vocaloid character that you like. You could change maybe the colour of the bomber jacket, or interchange it, but still use these design elements to make a costume that is related to the Sand Planet music video. And it's just a nice, easy, comfortable cosplay to wear. So I hope this really helped. I hope it was at least entertaining if anything else, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!